You're taken out of the field?
Was I taken out of the field? Yes.
I love you, Vince.
Did you see on the tape Chris Albert physically puts his hand on Brian Higgins' arm?
I don't have a specific memory of that.
I was truly peeing my pants. I should have videoed my pants because it was funny. It really was.
What kind of relationship? A buddy-buddy relationship?
The same thing everybody wants, a real relationship.
A romantic relationship, Mr. Higgins?
It's possible.
Right.
The same thing everybody wants, a real relationship. It's possible. Sending somebody flowers? It's possible.
I love you, Vince.
This morning, I'm working with clients. I start getting messages about this. Samantha Beningo. I am a psycho. So I feel like I've arrived because I made it on Loophole Lawyer.
I love you, Vince.
This fine-looking sister is Samantha Beningo. I think I used to sleep with her dad late at night on WFAN. I'm not sure, but either way, she's got a great attitude. We're all on the same team here. We're all looking to do the one thing that has not been done by all of the state troopers yet: find the real killer of John O'Keefe,
Brian Higgins,
and bring him to justice. I love Samantha's attitude, her personality. She gets the joke, but I'm not the type of person that needs someone to stroke their ego.
Loophole Lawyer.
It's a Tonight Show with Jay Leno.
Hey, John, shut up, will you? You got the job.
Hey, it's me and Vince the lawyer here. Scola.
I'll give him a sub. Loophole Lawyer, quoting the Loophole Lawyer.
You know how we feel about Vince here on the show. If there was a Hall of Fame, Vince's statue would be at the front of the building.
First
he
ballot.
is the greatest. Dare I say, my friend, welcome Vince the lawyer.
My next guest is an amazing talent. Not only is he an amazing lawyer, but the guy is funny, he's creative. You've got to see some of the stuff that he's done on the internet. Guys, it's Vince the lawyer.
Vince is a gangster.
Loophole Lawyer. Love to talk about him. It was one of his videos that Cosgrove linked about the Higgy and the rhino. Yes, exactly. And he says he hired a real rhino for that, and it wasn't AI. It was funny.
And Vinny's a good dude.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I had a Vinny.
Vince, attorney at law. I love Vince so much. So much.
Attorney is correct.
But that's our attorney, too.
Now he's like, it's our attorney. What do you mean it's your both attorney? He's paying the attorney. Vincent and Bessie, he's always helped us out.
Call Vinny. He wants us to be mad at Vinny.
Do you want us to be mad at Vinny?
Yes.
I'm not mad at Vinny for doing that. I'm just not. And you have no right to be mad at Vinny because you wouldn't even be at the Yankee game without Vinny.
Vinny!
Is Vinny really a lawyer? Is that who he is?
Yeah, pretty good, too.
I'm not the type of person that needs someone to stroke their ego, nor am I the type of person to archive whenever someone says something good about me. I want to do one thing: find the real killer of John O'Keefe,
Brian Higgins,
and bring him to justice. So let's go.
I died. I was truly almost peeing my pants. I should have videoed my reaction because it was funny. It really was. And as Loophole Lawyer astutely points out, he explains that the red that we see in the video of Brian Higgins and his hand is because
this occurs for various reasons, mainly because these cameras record using infrared light.
Thank you first and foremost to Loophole Lawyer.
You're very welcome. And of course, there could be various reasons why we saw that red triangle. But the main thing is we're all in this together to make sure that we have the documented proof that is not speculation. That's not some conspiracy theory. You don't need it. This case was so simple and it's very obvious.
For pointing this out.
Am I employed by ATF?
Correct.
Yes, I am. A special agent, yes.
And what is your current billet or your assignment?
I'm assigned to division operations at this time.
You're taken out of the field?
Was I taken out of the field? Yes.
You were showing romantic interest in Karen Reed, weren't you?
I was interested, but I don't think I was at the romantic phase.
Our Higgy Bear knows that three things that must be true in order for someone to be convicted of murder: means, motive, and opportunity. And here, old Higgy Bear knows motive is an issue and he's got it.
Well, what do you mean by romantic? What's the romantic phase?
Sending somebody flowers?
Dating?
Well, there's a difference between dating and hanging out. It's kind of hard to date somebody when you have a boyfriend.
It wasn't hard for my ex-wife. She was dating 4 guys in our building.
You seem to have a problem admitting that you had a romantic interest in my client. Is there a reason for that?
I was attracted to her.
Right. Physically attracted.
I thought she was an attractive woman.
Romantically attractive.
I'm not going to go there.
Because we observed Higgy Bear in his natural habitat for so long, we know when he's lying. He knows he cannot admit to loving Karen Reed because that would be a motive.
No, I don't agree with that.
Of course you're not going to go there because that would put you in a very awkward position, wouldn't it, sir? You were sexually attracted to her.
I was physically attracted to her, yes.
Sexually attracted to her was my question.
Well, I think in the text I said you're hot.
So my question again, Mr. Higgins, you seem to not want to answer my question. My question is, were you or were you not sexually attracted to my client?
Higgy?
Yes.
You were saying things like, I want the real deal. Those are your words, correct?
Yes.
And the real deal with you would be to date her, to get involved with her, romantically, correct?
No.
The real deal was what? What did you mean by I want the real deal?
Like a relationship.
What kind of relationship? A buddy-buddy relationship?
The same thing everybody wants, a real relationship.
A romantic relationship, Mr. Higgins?
It's possible.
Right.
The same thing everybody wants, a real relationship. It's possible. Sending somebody flowers? It's possible.
And the real deal with you would be to date her, romantically, correct?
No. The same thing everybody wants, a real relationship. It's possible. Sending somebody flowers? It's possible.
It certainly is possible, and it's very cute watching old Higgy Bear first deny that he wants to date Karen and then admit to it.
Would you describe the text messages between Brian Higgins and Karen Reed as flirtatious in nature?
It was a flirtatious text. It was just, that was it.
Without having recently reviewed them in detail. I just want you to know who I am.
This is Yuri Bukanik, the supervisor for the lead investigator on this case, and he doesn't even know the basic facts.
I don't want to label it something without having complete understanding of the content.
This is trial number 2, and Yuri was a supervisor to the lead investigator. He was there at most of the questioning of all the witnesses, and now he doesn't know. But he certainly knows the words to the song.
English is like a third language for me, so if you can bring up the Webster's Dictionary, I can read it out. Hey, Brian, it's the Weed Whacker.
Hey, Brian, it's Weed Whacker. Question mark.
Question mark. Have you always had trouble accepting compliments? All yours came to me after a day of drinking. You were way more all over me that day.
These texts are very critical because they evidence the fact that Higgy Bear needed that reassurance from Karen, and generally he only got it if they were drinking at a bar or right after they were drinking.
So what? Don't most compliments come that way? Like all over me with compliments and how you felt. It was 3:30 a.m. Coming to your house would have been bad for the both of us. For starters, you wouldn't have wanted me to leave. Why? Because you wouldn't have made me stay. Locked me in your room.
In your interview with Brian Higgins, where did that take place?
In Sharon at a attorney's office.
At his lawyer's house, correct?
I'm not sure if he resides there, but it was an office.
With his lawyer present, correct?
Yes.
As that fine-looking Samantha pointed out, if Higgy Bear injured his paw while punching John O'Keefe, there would have been plenty of time for it to heal by the time Yuri got around to interviewing him.
He wasn't under arrest, correct?
No.
He hadn't read his rights.
No need to know.
No need to, because he wasn't in custody, right?
Correct.
He was just a witness in the case that you're investigating.
That's correct.
But he asked that you interview him in his lawyer's presence. Right.
Yes.
While I shouldn't be saying this and always get your own legal advice, law enforcement and the FBI find it very suspect if you're simply a witness, but you demand to have an attorney present.
You were asked about any evidence of Brian Higgins having a motive to murder John O'Keefe. And you said, no, I didn't find a motive that Brian Higgins would want to murder John O'Keefe.
Higgy Bear's motive, killing a rival male for a female, is as old as time.
That's right.
What about a motive to confront him about a girl he was interested in? Did you see that?
I believe the text messages speak for themselves. Everybody heard me read them out loud.
Did you, in your mind, in your opinion, after having read those texts, find a motive for Brian Higgins to perhaps want to confront John O'Keefe because of jealousy?
English is like a third language for me, so if you can bring up the Webster's Dictionary, I can read it out. If you ask me for my opinion is that he would need to confront Mr. O'Keefe Mr. O'Keefe was not the one pursuing Mr. Higgins. It was your client that was pursuing Mr. Higgins. Why would you be jealous? I am not attracted to her at all. I have always been attracted to you. Really? Yes. Since the first time I saw you.
Do you like me? Question mark. I responded, yes, clearly.
Trust me, I am tempted. Do you plan on leaving him? What's your interest in me? Just so you know, I thought you were extremely hot off the rip.
That's Higgy Bear in the blue expressing his love for Karen Reed.
Amazing personality. I could go on and on, but I do not want to pump your shut up too much. So now he is jealous of me? Why, oh God? Because I need some direction. Have you always had trouble accepting compliments? All yours came to me after a day of drinking. You were way more all over me that day.
Pay attention to that, because after a day of drinking and at a bar where generally Karen would be all over Higgy Bear, she completely ignored him.
So what? Don't most compliments come that way? Like all over me with compliments and how you felt. It was 3:30 a.m. Coming to your house would have been bad for the both of us. For starters, you wouldn't have wanted me to leave. Why? Because you wouldn't have made me stay. Locked me in your room. Aren't you afraid you might actually like me? I don't think that's a bad thing. Isn't that the point? Well, it would be complicated because you have a boyfriend. At times there was flattering text messages from both sides. Your client reached out to him first.
Did you see in those text messages, in your mind, a motive that might lead to jealousy on the part of Brian Higgins?
No, I think Brian Higgins was pretty clear in his request for explanation of what the defendant wanted out of this, and stated that he's friends with Mr. O'Keefe.
Colonel Sanders, the new head of the Massachusetts State Police, you better be watching what we're sending you. You requested us to send you our investigation. You requested it. We're sending it. Could you imagine your trooper here fails to investigate the oldest and most obvious motive of all mankind? It's an absolute disgrace.
He wanted clarity from the defendant about what was going on. I didn't read it to be that he was jealous as I sit here thinking back on the content.
What about after drinking Jameson and ginger all night long and sending a text that said, well, might that change things? But it bothered you enough to send her a text, didn't it?
No, it was a flirtatious text. It was just, that was it.
It bothered you enough to send her a text that said, with 6 M's behind it. Well?
I don't know what Mr. Higgins' state of mind was.
Well, perhaps as a supervisor to the lead investigator, I don't know. Maybe you should find out.
Could mean many different things. They could have had a face-to-face interaction, a look. We'd be strictly speculating.
Colonel Sanders, how can you look at this supervisor to the lead investigator and say, Karen Reed got a fair trial? Without all of our financial support and all of our work being done behind the scenes, she never would have got off, which coincidentally was my ex-wife's major complaint before we got divorced. But that's irrelevant right now.
What was intended by that?
It was a flirtatious text.
Or what was the intent of communication by that text message?
You see that, detective, as an investigator, as a reasonable, objective investigator, as a possible scenario for Brian Higgins to be jealous about John O'Keefe.
The biggest mistake we all made in trial number 1, including Alan Jackson and everyone else, is our failure to see Higgy Bear threatening John O'Keefe just moments before he attacked him at 34 Fairview. It was a huge oversight.
There's a possibility there, but I didn't see it.
Did you explore that possibility?
Nah, why do that?
We did not follow up on that aspect based on the totality of the entire investigation.
Did you pull the tape at the waterfall? Did you see on the tape a time just before Brian Higgins left the location, Chris Albert physically puts his hand on Brian Higgins' arm?
I don't have a specific memory of that.
Do you remember a circumstance on that tape where Brian Higgins pulled his arm away and looked past Chris Albert over toward the bar, which is where John O'Keefe was standing?
I do remember you.
Colonel Sanders, you better get on this case. There's literally only 10 people in the entire world that could have killed John O'Keefe, and we have one on video threatening him 30 minutes before he's attacked. Who do you think did it?
Samantha Beningo. I am a psycho.
Pointing that out, we couldn't tell him who exactly he was looking at based on the video.
Did you see a circumstance in which he then motioned over toward that side of the bar?
That I remember, yes.
Did that seem to you as a reasonable interpretation? Hey, come on outside. Come here.
Very reasonable since they've been invited to 34 Fairview.
Did it look, in your opinion, that was just a, hey, let's go together? Or did it look more to you like, hey, come outside, or let's step outside?
The totality of the investigation, the fact that when they stepped outside there was no confrontation and they were invited to the address suggests otherwise.
Let's talk about that totality of the investigation. You're aware that Brian Higgins left first. He was the first to arrive at 34 Fairview, even before Brian Albert.
I am, yes.
And you're also aware that John O'Keefe and Karen Reed were among the last to arrive. So they didn't step outside together.
They didn't step outside, but once he was invited, according to your narrative, wouldn't they have a discussion outside where he was invited to come out?
You're aware that, according to the tape, John O'Keefe left about 10 minutes after Brian Higgins.
I'll take your word for it.
In the very early goings of the case, the rumor was that Colin was the person who initiated the fight, that he and Brian Albert were the direct aggressors, and that Brian Higgins was the one who actually pulled Chloe off of John O'Keefe. Many people have a hard time believing that Colin Albert is completely innocent.
Samantha's 100% right. There are still some people that believe Colin was involved, and we tried to force that narrative in trial number 1 because we missed that last portion of the video at the waterfall, literally showing Brian Higgins threatening John O'Keefe. Colin Albert had absolutely no motive to attack John O'Keefe.
Please state your name and spell your last name.
I do not remember.
Colin Albert was not in love with Karen Reed. Colin Albert was not insecure about dealing with Karen Reed. Colin Albert wasn't drinking Jameson and gingers.
What do you drink? Question mark. Jameson and ginger. Usually what I drink all the time, Jameson and ginger.
All day long. Colin Albert was not ignored at the bar when the love of his life walked in, nor was Colin Albert seen on video threatening John O'Keefe just minutes before he was attacked. And finally, Colin Albert never texted John O'Keefe at 12:20 a.m.
Are you coming here? Followed by 3 question marks.
Taunting him to come to 34 Fairview. The ability to stay flexible and adjust your investigation is critical if you want to truly solve a crime. And like I've always said, this crime was one of the easiest to solve because it took place within a very small area over a very short period of time with a very limited amount of suspects. One or more of these 10 people has to be the killer of John O'Keefe. That's how easy this is. Once you remove the kids and the McCabe's, you're down to just 3 suspects: Brian Albert, Higgy Bear, and Chloe. Since Chloe's a good dog, she didn't do it. So that leaves just 2 suspects, Brian Albert and Higgy Bear. But of the 2 Brians, only one had the means, motive, and opportunity to kill John O'Keefe. And that's our old cuddly but violent Higgy Bear. And like Alan Jackson, Karen Reed, and the FBI, we are not going to stop producing these videos until the real killer,
Brian Higgins,
is brought to justice.
I love you, Vince.
What kind of relationship? A buddy-buddy relationship?
The same thing everybody wants, a real relationship.
A romantic relationship, Mr. Higgins?
It's possible.
Right.
I kissed gay Jeff. The same thing everybody wants. A real relationship. It's possible. Sending somebody flowers. It's possible.